No mai haramai te whānau, and welcome to Big Hairy News on a Friday, or Bright Hairy News as everyone likes to call us. Kia ora everyone. Kia ora Rogers. How are you?
Kia ora.
How are you going?
That's the honorary Mr.
Oh.
Detective Rogers. Thank you.
Honorary or honorable?
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
The honorable
It's
Mr.
never
Detective
true.
PJ Rogers.
It's always a lie.
The lore of Detective Rogers continues.
Mm.
I see we now have a first or middle name.
Just whatever. Just use your imagination.
Your government name?
Yeah, it's my government name. That's my secret identity name.
Nice. All right. Well, I hope everyone's
I'm doing great, by the way.
That's good. Yes,
Answer your question.
Spoke so long I forgot what my question was. That's good. I'm glad because it is fucking cold. I had to quickly go make a Milo before the show because it's very, very cold.
It's toasty in here. It's like 26 degrees in my apartment. I'm wearing a jersey. I don't know why, but I'm expecting it to cool down because I turned the heater off.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Hot.
Well, you don't realize because I was walking around naked half the time because I took a shower.
Fair enough. I guess you dry off in a nice hot air.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess we better quickly get into some of the quick plugs for tonight's show. So, because we obviously have someone waiting in the wings. So let's start the spiel. If I press the right bloody thing, that is. We're just going to go to my blue sky because that's where I've got the images now. Yeah. So, just a little bit of a plug. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, we had a bit of a whānau hui yesterday. Big whānau hui, actually. It went on for a long time. But if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can scan the QR code there. So what were you going to say, Detective?
I just said I missed it.
Oh, you missed the family hui? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to go back and watch it because it was a very, very long, like, Pat had slides. He had slides for the whānau hui. Like, it was right? Yeah, we're getting serious. Next 18 months, predicting ahead, you know what I mean? Okay. Which also,
if you want quarterly reports.
Right? If you want to buy some merch, go to bhnshop.nz. And also, if you'd like to join us in the Discord community, please come over and hang out with us. We would love more people to send memes and hang out.
And I get lonely, guys, so please come talk to me.
Yeah, hang out with. We also hang out in the VC often after the Friday show, or sometimes randomly when we're just bored and feel like it, or when people are doing tech support in the VC. But I'm sure some of you may have noticed that the name of the channel might just be a tiny bit different today. So as Pat kind of has changed it, we now have the Big Hairy Network. And so also, obviously, someone asked for QR codes last night for the new podcast. So ask and you shall receive. I have QR codes. Now, these take you to the playlists for each podcast on YouTube. So Big Hairy News Podcast, it takes you to our playlist for the live. Locked Out with Craig Rennie, that'll take you to his playlist, and The Frontline with Dr. Gary Payenda, that'll take you to his playlist as well. So obviously, go check that out. It's on Blue Sky if you want to share it around. I'll probably get it put on Facebook as well because that will be definitely a good place to get that on. But with all of that excitingness, I guess we better get into our first guest. So welcome to the show, everybody's favorite, Paul, the other one.
Kia ora, how's everyone doing?
Hello there.
Good.
Hello there.
I noticed you did that. You did that two videos ago, I think. I'm not sure if it was an intentional reference or not, but
which one? The hello there.
The hello there, yes.
Hello there is in the start of every video. It has been for about 3-4 years now, and it was because I think I started on May the 4th, the first video I ever did for TikTok, and it just seemed like the right thing to do, and it stuck. I still get people stopping me and asking me to say it, especially if I'm at somewhere like Armageddon or the Pop Culture Expo on the North Shore. And people are like, oh my God, he said the line. I'm like, I stole the line. It was clearly Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor's well before it was mine.
Right.
It's yours now.
I'll take it.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, oh, what's going on with my lights? Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
oh.
Just
I also did notice you were wearing in your update video for your video. You were wearing a hat with the.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it?
the Star Wars hat. That's because it's the only hat I brought with me, and it's really faded. And where I am at the moment, like you guys were mentioning the cold, it's 29 degrees here at the moment, and
oh wow.
that's the low for the day.
But aren't the Empire the
Yikes.
baddies?
The Empires are baddies, but they have the coolest looking merch.
That's true.
I mean, they
Let's
do,
not
but
talk about cool
also,
looking baddies.
hey, I got
Exactly.
some cool Star Wars. There's some cool Star
Exactly,
Wars.
and I normally have a Rebel Alliance pin on me if I'm working in the studio. Yeah, there's always the nerdy merch, and it's one of the things I found here is that there's very little of it. The stuff that you can get here is a lot more anime focused, and I've never been a big anime person, but there's a lot of focus on anime, not so much on Star Wars or Star Trek or sort of the classic pop culture stuff that I grew up with. Which I'm sure is exactly what everybody is here to listen to.
Hey, I mean, I grew up on that stuff too. Like,
exactly.
I am we got Chewie. He was a Star Wars fan. Like, it is an episode of BHN technically.
Yes. Yeah. Well, see, the thing I love about Star Wars is like with the research that I do, with the content that I make, you'll come across people who are like really big fans of these pop culture titles, and I don't mind that. You know, that's up to them. But you see them sitting there going, you know what, I really like Star Wars, and I'm going to act like fucking Emperor Palpatine. But I really love Star Wars. You see them miss the message and miss. It's so frustrating at times.
Right? It's right in front of their eyes, and yet somehow they side with Anakin.
But... Anyway, we didn't come to talk about Star Wars, I think.
No, we came to talk about real life Star Wars, I guess. All the games that's been played at the moment. So I don't know. Did you want to talk a little bit about kind of fabricated consent and kind of, you know, what made you kind of want to put it out there first?
So I've been involved in local body politics in some form or another for the best part of 25 years. Come on. And the last couple of years have been really fascinating to sit and watch, because usually it's, you know, people really interested in getting out and helping the community. I might not agree with them politically, but I could always see that, yeah, most of them were there to help in some way in what they thought was best. A few years ago, we actually started to see disinformation candidates try to get in by themselves, and it only really succeeded in one place, which was Kitty Kitty Doll. And they brought in somebody called Siggy Henry, who's the spin-off described as the worst elected official anywhere in the country. Like, she was horrible. And then she got booted out. But that kind of happened just before we had COVID hit, which meant just before Voices for Freedom were coming on board, and a whole bunch of these sort of disinformation groups that wanted to try and steer people after the protests in Wellington, steer them towards local government. And most people will probably remember the whole "we want to make the country ungovernable" spiel that came out that the media was covering, that they've denied saying, which is why I made sure that clip is in there, because I wanted evidence to say, look, yeah, they're lying to you, but this is the proof of it. And then I think it was last year at some point, I was actually in Kirikiriroa for my grandson's birthday party, and I went and caught up with a mate in Garden Place, and there was a protest going on there. And at that protest was a guy named Gary Mellon, who's the former head of the ACT, the former president, not that former president, but a former president of the ACT Party, who got done for being a little bit dodgy with the finances. And he used to be a city councillor himself, massive homophobe, and he had a massive meltdown about getting reports on pink papers one day, and it made a bit of a headlines. With him was another person who had run for the ACT Party in, I think it was the Hamilton West Ward, and she'd set up this group called City Watch. And that was basically their local Astroterfs group. Everything in City Watch looked like a news story or news piece or opinion pieces written by experts. But it was all the hard right ideology point of view with a whole bunch of conspiracy theories in that mixed in. And what we were sitting there at this protest that they'd organised because speed bumps bad and rates going up. And that was literally the basis of it. Me and my mate Art, who's Jewish, spotted a guy doing a Nazi sign, like throwing the Nazi wave in the middle of this crowd. And we're just sitting there going, what the fuck are these people up to? They gave us a flyer, so we started doing some digging. And it got linked back really quickly to Hamilton City Councillor Andrew Bidder. He's the one who got in trouble last year for calling Susan O'Regan, the mayor of Waipara, a whole bunch of slurs that denigrate disabled people. Sure, I don't have to repeat what they are here. Most people will be able to work it out. And he got away with it. Like he was told he had to apologize. He refused. And there's literally nothing you can do to get rid of councillors once they've got the job. You can't fire them. They're there until they get voted out or they quit. But from that, we started to see a whole bunch of little tendrils coming out. Like he had sat down and done an interview with Liz Gunn at the start of last year going, this is how we're taking over council. We're going to have all these people running on all these places. We're going to make sure that the staff don't do their jobs. We can't let them do their job because they're indoctrinated, woke WEF shills for Klaus Schwab. He did that over a series of 4 interviews. And then he sat down and wrote this 18-page treatise of how to do it, how to get out there and take things over. And it just kind of built from there. And Andrew frustrates me on so many levels because I want to see people in councils who are there for their community. He's there to ruin the community. And so it kind of built from there. And then he starts talking to people like Ray Chung about what Ray was doing in Wellington with Better Wellington. And clearly that's gone really well today. And then there's a whole bunch of different sort of connections that grew from it. And when you get to Wellington and you see what's there, you've obviously got Better Wellington, which has connections to people like Glenn Inwood, who has connections to organisations like New Zealand First, Voices for Freedom. It just ends up being this massive rabbit hole. And it sounds like this conspiracy theory if you're talking to people who don't see it. And so now I kind of have a little bit of sympathy for the people out there going, chemtrails and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it sort of just grew and grew from there. And then I'm going, I can't just tell people one little part of this. Like I have to try and map it out and try and make sure people are aware of it. And so doing some digging and then you're like, oh, why do I keep seeing challenging councils on here? Why does that keep popping up? So you do some digging into that. It's like, well, the guy who set this up, Mark, he's this weird sovereign citizen dude, but he doesn't really believe the sovereign citizen stuff, but he's used that to try and sell himself to the groups that do. And he hates working with Voices for Freedom. So Voices for Freedom had their own little plan going. Mark has his own little plan going. Voices for Freedom had this group called Council Watch NZ, and they'll tell you, we're not far right, not at all. We're just really concerned citizens who want lower rates and no fluoride in water. And the no fluoride in water thing is automatically a red flag. It's one of those things that they jump up and go and try and scare people with. And then you go and dig into what that group is actually saying. And it's things like the gifting of Māori place names is a waste of money and totally bullshit. And anyone that's running in a Māori ward or anywhere that's supporting Māori wards for this referendum, they need to be voted out because they're a waste of money. There was disinformation about the Waitemata local board and how they were looking after the rangers. So super fucking racist, as well as everything else. The Tory got ripped to pieces in there by them. And then they sent me a message going, well, we don't think you'll find that we're hard right at all. So it's like, yeah, okay, do some digging. The day, or I think 2 days after I put out Fabricated Consent, Voices for Freedom came out and did this big online seminar going, by the way, Council Watch is ours. So they admitted then and there that they owned this astroturfing group that they were setting up as resources for these candidates. But during the research process, we also found a document signed by Council Watch elected members. It had people like Ken Turner from Auckland Council, Lee Vandervee from Dunedin City Council. I don't think Ray Chung was in there for Wellington, if I remember correctly, but yeah, there were about 20 odd local elected representatives who had signed this letter to the Prime Minister, to Christopher Luxon, Shane Reti, who was Health Minister at the time, and Winston Peters, going, no, you can never do another international pandemic agreement. We think it's horrible, shouldn't we? And so we've got these really clear links between elected members who are already there, Voices for Freedom, international policy that's coming out of the government now. It just keeps growing and growing. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. And I mean, when I watched Fabricated Consent, I was actually a little bit late to watching it because I know people were chatting about it all in the Discord. But when I watched it, I was impressed, first of all, by all the, obviously, the hard work and research, and all of the receipts is just like amazing. I mean, this is the image you had
40
of
minutes.
It is,
yeah.
But it is a great 40 minutes. Highly recommend. And yeah, these are the faces that no Ray Chung in this one, I don't think so.
Yeah,
but
so
we did find he was in there.
Yeah, and the thing about Ray, which I found really interesting, is I've always had to be really careful, and you guys will be aware of somebody like Sam Summers, who does It's in the Ballot. Lovely guy, love his show. And I know that Sam has a personal relationship with Ray. And so I'm sitting there going, I don't want to dump Ray in the deep end because I know he's friends with Sam and Sam's a really good guy. But I can't deny that there's these links that crop up. So the stuff that we've done with Ray is actually really limited. But from what I've heard, Ray hasn't been impressed with being mentioned in it at all. And the problem is, Ray might believe that his group, his Independent Together team, are truly independent, but they're connected to Better Wellington, which isn't independent. And so it does become a bit of a blurred area as to what these people believe and what they're trying to get across. And there are some players in this, like Gil Booth, for example. She is a Teviot Valley community board member from Voices for Freedom. She was one of the people who helped set up challenging councils. And she's had a lot of fingers and pies everywhere, and she's kind of a little bit manipulative in what she's doing. So it really does feel very rabbit hole-y at times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we'll play a little bit from the about 10 minutes into this. There was a time step that I thought we could kind of just watch and then maybe go into some of the morning report, which Ray was interviewed on. So yeah, we'll just get this for a minute.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
These resident and ratepayer groups are being used as a Trojan horse to push specific perspectives built around hot-button issues. We can track their growth and spread and see common messaging, altered slightly to help them assimilate into local communities before building a base of followers who think of them as a legitimate concern group. They're like the Borg, and your home's unique area will adapt to service their needs. In the 21st century, though, assimilation isn't done at the end of the gun or under the direct boot of colonization. It's achieved through media and algorithms. These tools can create a lot of influence, and in the past, some of the actions of these groups have led to really personal, hurtful outcomes for people, fed on disinformation to groups susceptible to conspiratorial thinking, and without the skill set to critically approach media content.
One of these groups, you may remember 2 years ago, started a rumour about a sex tape that I apparently had out in the sphere. That was completely untrue, and we told journalists that it didn't exist. But that particular group had so much, for whatever reason, it gained legs. And I'm still trying to bat off that rumour today.
Which I guess is now actually so much more true than, and that's where I was kind of like, it's a great segue into kind of, I guess, talking more about, this Ray Chung situation.
Also, poor Tory, by the way.
Yes.
Just won't stop.
Right? Leave her the fuck alone.
Yeah. And she knew it was coming. She'd been given a heads up on it. And
she did warn us on the show when she came on to talk to Pat. She was like, keep an eye on the media.
Yeah, exactly. And she knows that she's a target, and she knows why she's a target. And that's really fucking shitty, to be honest. The fact that anyone gets targeted because of who they are is a horrible thing to have happen. One of the things I found really fascinating about Ray's stuff this morning, from what I've seen, because to be fair, it's a little bit less front of the news here, is that there was an interview that involved Nicola Young, who's also another Wellington councillor. She was one of the 3 people that Ray had sent his letter to. And her response was, well, I did tell Ray to delete it. It was kind of...
I saw that.
She was the one who jumped on the platform with
that's exactly what
Pancake Man.
I have a link. I have a link to it because that was what I thought. I was like, I know for a fact Nicola was one of the first ones to start really pushing that rumor.
Exactly. But now there's an election on, so she has to look like she's being kind. And voters have really short memories, and this is the problem that we've got. Nicola's national through and through. Like, you cut her and she'll bleed blue. Not that I'm recommending anybody cut people, that's a bad thing to do. But she is very national. She's got a long history with the National Party, and that's really clear. When it came to that first round of these rumours, the media were asking other members of council, do you think Tory should step down? And they're all going, no, look, this is obviously a bit of muckraking. And she was the only one to go, yes, she needs to go. She clearly has a bias around this whole thing, and she's either been burnt by what happened the first time, which I don't think has happened because she's still out there doing the same stuff she was before, or she's trying to play to an audience going, hey, we should vote for me. again. I'm clearly not the problem here. And that's the messaging we need to be really concerned about.
Exactly, yeah. Because, yeah, that stood out to me instantly, because I remember going, hold on. I remember you being the first one to push Tory under the bus, and now you're trying to act like you were, like, no way. It's so obvious from the beginning. But obviously Ray was on the morning report. And obviously they asked him a bit about this. And so we'll just have a listen to part way into the interview with him. Let's check us in here.
Our mayor. And so I thought that I wanted some feedback on what I thought about it.
Did you speak to the mayor to clarify or confirm the facts around it?
No, I didn't.
That was
Which, just off the bat, just no. I didn't confirm anything with anyone, but I also decided to not only inform councillors, but eventually send an email sharing these things.
So it was just gossip that you heard in the street, and you thought it was a good idea to tell councillors about it.
I wanted to get feedback from them about what they thought about it, because I thought that this was concerning that we received this about the mayor that we had, and at that time, remember, we knew very little about the mayor.
Now, just looking at some of the language in here, we should say that Tory Whanau denies the contents of the email. She's described it as creepy and gross, the language that you use. So you've talked about a sordid night on the town.
Yes.
So this is a really fascinating thing that our media does. Media does everywhere. They frame something like this like it's a bad thing. Tory is a consenting adult. If she chose to do that, that's fine. That is not... Adult consents to do something with another adult is not a news story that people should be upset about. And if they are getting upset about, then they really need to be looking at themselves. So that framing in itself shows you the kind of issues that we've got and how these kind of problems are being framed, especially the fake problems that don't exist, and how they target somebody like Tory really specifically for that. If you took to somebody like Sarah Templeton, for example, who's running for mayor of Christchurch, she doesn't get those same sort of stories about it. She gets other stuff that's just as horrible. But because she's not Wahine Māori, she doesn't get that big target on her back. And that, I can hate our media for that. It's something that's been well researched. If you're a Wahine Māori, you have got a bigger target on your back, and you're made of being vilified much more in our media than anybody else is.
Well, yes, actually, I'm kind of glad you actually picked up on some of that, because what I noted was quite interesting is that when I looked back at, what was said around the time of like what Tory said that she was doing the night of the supposed incident, I noticed that she was attending a rainbow event. And I noticed that just instantly made me go, of course they've gone for that, debauchery and orgies, because that's another thing, implicit bias, that they hear. Exactly.
That's how they used to paint the rainbow community. They're all, they'll prey on your kids.
They're still doing that for the trans community. It is still that target that's out there using the same attack lines. And for some strange reason, ultra-conservative, very far-right conservatives seem to think that vilifying a group is the way to go about doing it. And that's part of what makes them far-right, is that exclusionary attitude. And it's one of the things I found really fascinating about the feedback to Fabricated Consent, was people going, far right equals Nazi. And it's clearly not the case, in the same way that, far left equals communist is clearly not the case. But there's this real deliberate vilification process of you calling me far right, and therefore I'm going to play the victim here because you clearly called me a Nazi. Those language terms that they're using are outdated and outmoded, but they work to a really specific audience who don't necessarily understand how media works, or how to interpret things like political bias in media. And so, it gets so frustrating sometimes sitting back and watching it happen.
Oh, no, I am totally with you.
It also seems a little self-conscious that you get called far right and you start defending yourself as being not a Nazi when no one's called you that.
And honestly, the comments that got blocked, so many of them are, so you're calling us Nazis. No, I'm not calling you Nazi. I'm not calling you fascist. I'm calling you somebody who has an exclusionary process, an exclusionary ideology. you might exclude people because of their religion or because of their color of the skin or their sexual orientation or gender identity or because they got a vaccine and you didn't. But that exclusionary aspect is a really big part of that ideology. But it's just, yeah.
In relation to all this crap going on, my brain just keeps going back to what you said before, which I didn't actually know. There's no way to actually eject a sitting councillor. So there's no walker jumping law, no vote of no confidence stopping.
There's technical ways that you can get rid of it. If a councillor is declared bankrupt, they can be fired because money. Because it's technically we don't know if we can trust you with other people's finances. But people who come in and argue that councils and local government should be run by people who run businesses, councils aren't a business. They're not there to make a profit, and they can't treat the board like they would a board of a business and just fire them if they do something wrong. If somebody gets locked up or incarcerated, whether that's for health reasons or because they've gone to prison, if they're away for more than 3 months from the job, they can be fired if the council chooses, or the council can choose to give them an exemption and keep doing what they're doing. And if they die, those are pretty much it. Technically, a minister can step in and fire an individual. Never going to happen. They'll fire a whole council, but they won't fire an individual usually because they feel like they're targeting somebody. Unless that individual has managed to do something really horrendous, which you see what Ray Chung and Andrew Bitter got away with. It's never going to happen.
And Nobby Clark, who was mentioned also in your video, stuff that. So I think would it be a worthwhile discussion at least to perhaps consider, like they do for Parliament, to have a sort of code of conduct?
So there are code of conducts within councils. Each council, under the current law, each council has their own code of conduct, and most of them are pretty similar. They've worked together and they've worked with LGNZ to try and come up with what's going to be acceptable for around the country. There are different ways that they can be engaged. So some councils only allow code of conduct complaints from people sitting around the council. Southland, for example, is like that. So when Jaspreet Boparai got elected down there, she's a Voices for Freedom presenter. She is makes bullshit up about the environment. She's very much a climate change denier. When she got in and started doing things that caused issues to the council around the budget because she refused to accept any of the climate change mitigation things that they were doing, and then going off saying climate change isn't real and the council's spending too much money, nobody in the public could complain because that's not what their process is. But somewhere like Kitty Doa Hamilton, the public can lay a complaint. And so there were, I think, 15, 16 complaints that came in around Andrew Bitter when he started using those slurs against Susan O'Regan. When we had the Labour Party in, they were doing this big report called The Future for Local Government. And they looked at everything, like what representation actually worked, how councils made their money, things like the water, the infrastructure that was causing the issues that we're seeing now, which lead to these rates increases, and how to go and actually hold these people accountable. Because you do run the risk of, I don't like that person's policies, so we're just going to vote him out. And that's not a fair way of doing it. There has to be a line somewhere, which is why a number of mayors earlier this year were actually calling for an outside regulation body to make that call. That makes a lot of sense. But Simeon was just like, this is woke, fuck that.
Making sense in this economy?
No. His actual argument for throwing out the whole report was it was woke.
Oh, I mean, if that's what is deemed a good enough fucking reason, just disgusting. Now I quickly just wanted to go through another timestamp near the end of Fabricated Consent because I found this just to be so good. I don't know what council meeting this is. I can't remember. I'm sure.
So this is Clutha District Council in the South Island. This is Tim Cadigan, and I want to say Brent McKenzie. I know I got the name wrong in this one, and so I have to re-record this when I get back. But it is the dude who founded Groundswell.
Yes.
And it's absolutely brilliant because it is literally him being told to his face, you fucked this up for the people we love. And I think it's such a powerful thing to hear.
I agree. So let's listen to it.
Three Waters infrastructure into council finances with no alternative at the time, which was a change driven by these groups who vilified Māori in the management structure of co-governance that are now demanding no inter-council cooperation on the topic at all and calling for rates caps. And councils know who is to blame, as outgoing Clutha Mayor Brian Cadogan told Groundswell's Brett McKenzie directly.
I've certainly got a few questions for us. So just firstly, you were saying water, roads, infrastructure. Why don't you stick to it? This council is sticking to it. Do you know what the rate rise would be if we excluded water, roads, and infrastructure?
What
would the rate increase?
If you're only sticking to those, I have no idea. Sorry.
If we excluded water, roads, and infrastructure, the rate increase would be somewhere around 3%. Now, interestingly, and it's a question.
Sorry, can you clarify that? If you
exclude the three waters, the Roden, and Mount Cowie,
if you exclude them,
from the rate rise, we're looking at urban of about 26 and the likes, which is really weighing heavily on us as a council. And you said, well, why don't you just stick to water, roads, and infrastructure? Water, roads, and infrastructure is 21 of the 24, and our place are 26. We are only spending a fraction of it. But the next question I ask you is, are you aware that in July this year, this council would have had $41 million in the bank, no indebtedness, no future litigious or financial burden from the three waters, and the 41 million would have generated over $2 million in interest. We could have funded the likes of what you're saying. We have the system, and yet I think it would be fair to say that there's no institution anywhere in New Zealand that worked to stop that more than Groundswell.
Oh, no, I disagree with that.
Stop Three Waters was definitely your cornerstone campaign. So this is the predicament that council is faced with. So no, it is a point. I do have a question. So consequently, how do you think you can come here and tell us when the predicament we've been placed in? I stood and talked to you at Philip Langhouse 4 years ago and pleaded with you that if this happened, that if we lost the Three Waters reforms, we were going to bankrupt the people we love and the communities we serve. Here we are. And yet you come and tell us that it's happening.
Oh, no, I'm not telling you anything. I'm here to put it.
I mean, just mic drop.
Yeah.
Drop
Absolutely.
all the mics. Like, amazing.
I love that clip. Like, I want everyone to see that clip. But one of the things I find really fascinating, everybody will remember the Three Waters, Stop Three Waters tour that Groundswell did with the TPU last year, which led to a lot of councils going, oh, no, this bad. And while a lot of them wouldn't outwardly say it, part of it was, Maori, ooh, scary. And so that was a really big part to the change that National and the current coalition brought in. They were really specific. I know my local MP got up and did the whole Three Waters, I'm not standing for co-governance, one person, one vote bullshit thing during the election. But now we have these issues where the infrastructure costs go up. In the last 7 years, infrastructure costs have gone up close to 70% from where they were at the beginning of 2019. And obviously we had COVID and the pandemic and things like that in that process. But they were going up before then because infrastructure was booming around the world and the largest producer of that is China. And then China shuts down first, which causes all these other issues. In 2019 alone, the cost of infrastructure raw materials went up 41%. But our CPI at the time was something like 4 or 5%. At our highest, CPI was 7%, 7.2%, while infrastructure rates went up 12%. So those candidates that are sitting there going, well, our interest rate's only 2.5%. Why are we charging people this much money? They know this, and they're doing it on purpose to mislead people because Groundswell did that. At the same time, those Groundswell meetings that they had, they used them as a chance to go through and recruit people to run for this year's local body elections. And we know Groundswell in the South Island are going to be running candidates that they're supporting, but not naming as supported candidates, which is really problematic. It's the same model Voices for Freedom used last time. And so we need to be really aware of just what we can do to keep ourselves informed going into the election. People can vote for who they want, but nobody should feel like they have been lied to by the people that they're going to vote for.
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, I definitely think like this year's local body elections, I think they feel so much more like, I guess, pivotal and important right now because we're all just going, this last election has us on, like, just anxiety is high. And I think that's why I really wanted to make sure that we at least showed some of this and got some of that, like, added to more people's ears, because I think more people need to watch the whole thing, and also all of your other content. I'm currently learning more about the local body elections through you, so thank you so much.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, I should point out, if you are not registered to vote, like if your registration details aren't up to date by August the 1st, you might miss out on getting your voting forms sent to where you are. It's all done by postal ballot. So make sure that your details are up to date at vote.nz. You can still vote if you're not registered. Like if your details are changed, it just takes a little bit more. It's more complicated. It's done by postal ballot. So you're going to get a bunch of boring forms, basically, which means you're going to have to do some digging. We've put a whole bunch of resources on on my website, paultheotherone.lg25. You can find a whole bunch of videos here, along with a whole bunch of fact checks on content that's coming through, and there'll be information from each elected or each war as well. So there'll be heaps.
That was a really good segue because I was going to mention making sure. Yes, it looks like your computer or your phone is telling us it's time for you to go. So
Yeah.
I think that we're right at a good spot anyway. So I mean,
I had
there was
plenty of questions. I
No.
had plenty of questions left, but I'll just say, love the Borg reference.
Yes.
Love the Borg reference. Fellow Tricky over here. Everyone go check out his New Zealand mentions in Star Trek video. It's my favorite one I've seen of his so far.
Nice.
Great deep dive.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul. I'm sure we'll have to have you on again or do some more work with you as well, because I think all of us need to, I guess, put in all the mahi to try and get things into a bit more of a positive light.
There's so many good people that are running, and if people are considering running, they should absolutely look into it. We need good people to run for local elections. So yeah, this is the year that we can tell the government to go fuck themselves in so many ways this year.
Absolutely. And I think that is the perfect place to end on. So thank you so much for joining us, Paul. And obviously have a safe flight and get home safe. We need you to keep fighting the good fight. So have a good rest of your day.
I'll be back by the end of the week.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
We'll see you then. Bye. Awesome.
Showed all my stuff on the wall, all my Spock.
Yes, no, I didn't want us to ending up getting too sidetracked going on down.
I know. I just needed to mention both Star Wars and Star Trek in the same interview. I needed to do it.
No, you know what? I respect that. As a Star Wars fan, I respect that. Now, normally I would do some memes and would jump into some stuff before we go to the next story. But since we're doing 2 guests tonight, which is insane, I think we might just go on.
I've been waiting 8 minutes. So
yeah, exactly.
We better move
on. I guess without further ado, we'd like to introduce everyone to Aiden from VUSWA. Kia ora, Aiden.
Kia ora. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Fellow alumni.
Oh yeah.
Best place to go.
Yeah. Right. I would have voted for the current VUSWA peeps. Now I don't know who I voted for. Oh, I should check.
That's all right.
I probably voted for you. No, that's fine. But yeah, so welcome to the show, Aiden. Obviously this week I was walking down the terrace and I noticed there was quite a lot of posters around, and these posters had data and really interesting information on them. And I went, I need to find out a bit more about this. And obviously I scanned the little QR code and heard about the Where's the Work campaign that you guys have going on. So I guess, would you like to just kind of explain to people what your campaign and what the kaupapa is?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you've mentioned seeing the QR code and just getting intrigued and scanning it, because that's exactly what we were going for, just random bits of info.
It worked.
Yeah, awesome. So for anyone who doesn't know, Where's the Work is a campaign we launched this Monday from VUSWA, and it's honestly as simple as that. We're asking central government and employers within Wellington, where's the work? We've seen, from students consultating with them, that's their biggest issue at the moment, is what work can they find within Wellington, within New Zealand after they graduate. And so many of them from those we have consulted have already looked overseas. And as we're doing this petition, the overwhelming the comments we get is, I'm already going.
Yeah, honestly,
I've already planned it. Yeah.
I mean, as a recent graduate who's unemployed, but also not able to leave the country, because honestly, I'd melt in Australia. I definitely really feel this campaign since I only just finished in the end of last year. So I definitely am one of those people along with you guys. I loved the way that you guys have done it with the posters, and I see that you hung a banner on the terrace tunnel, which we love a good terrace tunnel banner. It gets the word out. And what I really loved, and this is probably just because I'm a nerd, is your posters had data on them. So the only one I didn't wholly understand was actually this one. Can you explain to me what it means by grad roles gone?
Yeah, so the data we actually got this from was from the lovely Francesca Hernandez. The data we gave this from was from all the written parliamentary questions he had asked in the House. And so essentially a set of questions along the lines of how many graduates roles are available within your portfolio to ministers. And so after asking them in December and throughout to May, we have the data from December 24 to May 25, there's been a 591 grad roles drop, decrease between that time. Majority of them being within the health sector, which is already, struggling and desperate for, fresh blood and more bodies on the line.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we know that our nurses are definite. Well, I'm not sure if everyone heard today, but I believe they just announced that they'll be going on a 24-hour strike. So, I mean.
As they should.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I thought this campaign, I think it's great that we're getting the eyes on, kind of that tertiary space and the support needed for it. Because, I mean, I think. So I think there's one of them that I really liked the quote on. Oops, did I go past it? Sorry, Whanau. I think it's... yeah, it's also not good business to train these lawyers and let them walk. And that's definitely something that I really kind of was like, yeah, it's not smart. It's stupid to help give us these student loans and help us with this, the little bit of help they do with our education, just for many of us to go, well, I can get paid quite possibly almost double my current hourly rate for something that's in Australia, not that far away, and obviously can go back and forward to visit family. And I thought this was really interesting how you've kind of put that national and the Wellington stats side by side, because, again, I know this is obviously through Te Herenga Waka, but I feel like I'm assuming you guys are you're doing it for all tertiary as well as, the Tauira at VUSWA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just across the board has just been pretty dire for students. I mean, Wellington's uniquely a bit placed because the public sector cuts hits us first and hits us the hardest, especially with internships and grad roles that usually pick you straight out of courses into it. But as the stats show, it's just worse across the board. And even tertiary tauira, tradies, apprentices, why would they stay in this country if they're going to get paid better overseas, right? So that's exactly what we're
my
trying
brother
to do. And why wouldn't you, right? That's
Exactly.
the rational choice. If we're going to go with the whole, neoclassical economic thing, actors have rational choice. They're always going to do what's maximizes their utility. Why on earth would you stay in this country when you're just going to get better wages, better opportunities, better conditions, even with industrial awards in Australia, RIP, fair pay agreements.
Yes. And I mean,
all those stuff, right to disconnect. Why wouldn't you, if you can get better work, more stable work? It's just the rational choices to go to Oz.
Yeah, that's something I saw us picking up pretty quickly after Oz implemented it, the whole right to disconnect thing, but we never really followed that, did we? Anyway, not to go on a tangent. But what one thing, I remember when I was graduating, even back, that was about 10 years ago now, something like that, was, just even then the opportunities when I was graduating was not amazing, especially I graduated in design, so it was a bit more of a different story, where you quickly realize, I'm expected to do an internship for 3 years or something for free before I get employed anywhere. So that was a harsh reality check for me.
And
Absolutely.
And students aren't even getting the internship at the moment. So
I mean, I know even just when I think we've seen from I think it was Seek, someone saw that even just a trolley person job at a New World was having 300, 500 people applying for that one job. And I guess that kind of leads into where I kind of want to ask you more about is that so in terms of this campaign, I guess I can see where you guys are kind of trying to be okay, we need more help. I guess what kind of tangible actions are you hoping that, the government, local government, those types of entities, like what are you actually kind of hoping that they might kind of do, at least to start helping?
If they would. So basically our petition, which is a part of this campaign, mainly centers on the public side of things. And from our petition there, we've got, I feel, I might be biased, but pretty tangible and sensible goals, which is number one, which is to reinstate all the paused grad programs that are currently, like I said, paused. The government is kind of hiding behind the fact that they've defunded these roles. They no longer exist currently. So any 2025 graduate, I guess, good luck. And so they claim that next year they will, or whenever, will reinstate them. However, that's just not good enough for the here and now. And even then, with our fiscal performance, I'm not sure how much we can rely on that. The second goal we have is just to put in place that emphasis within publicly owned institutions to, have a clear directive for education to workforce transition, so that even secondary or tertiary, whatever is best, but there's clearly a need to cherry pick talent. Otherwise, private will outbid us, or other nations will outbid us. And so if we want to see a stronger public sector that, does more with more, we need more talent, right?
Absolutely.
And then lastly is expansion of these grad roles and opportunities, internship opportunities, because the student population is bouncing back after COVID. We saw a dip, but we are currently climbing back up. Minus the paused ones, even current amounts of grad roles opportunities is not very sustainable for a growing student population that we want to retain. And so I feel that's directly a challenge to central government. This is something that a government of choices, they could choose to do this within the next week, the next budget, whatever it may be. But also, as we are all well aware, 2026 is next year. And this is also a gauntlet thrown down to any other political party that wants student votes in the tens of thousands. And that is, there is clear demand for this policy to address this need. And we want to see it going into the next election. And so that's kind of the whole idea behind the campaign.
Oh no, and I love that you point that out, though, that is for all the Labour Green Party Māori people who come in to watch BHN. There you go, straight from students' mouth, because that's the other part, is that we need that student voice, because often, like I see with your petition, it goes for a modest goal of 400 signatures, but I think we should be able to get so much more, because I mean, like students and their learning, it benefits all of us, especially, you pointed out public sector would benefit. And I mean, in Wellington, that is a lot of our bread and butter. So that is just going to be an approach that will help in multiple different ways. And I think it'll be good if everybody who's watching, I want you to open that tab up right now. A tab, don't close us. But go open it, go sign it, and share it on Facebook or wherever you hang out. Because yeah, I do agree. Like, there needs to be what I just find strange is that, like, even in terms of, say, UBI, that I know a lot of students have been trying to push forward, the universal basic income. We are more than happy to give old people a universal basic income to kind of finish their life off comfortably, and absolutely there for that. But then I feel the same argument is that for our students, why do we want our students to be hungry, cold, having to work however many jobs and do however many long hour days? And like, the fact that we as a country have kind of just been like, yeah, that's acceptable. We're happy to let young people not have the things that they need to actually have a better education. Like, we all know that feeding kids in primary school and high school and all that helps them. It doesn't stop when you get to uni. You don't stop needing food. And I definitely think that is something that people aren't really kind of acknowledging, that we do have a bit of a shit attitude towards students, and kind of we should be more than happy to be supporting and creating those opportunities, because yeah, I mean, these are the people who are going to be taking over from whatever jobs we get left. And all of that. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else about this campaign, or things that you guys are doing at the moment that you'd really like to kind of just let people know about?
Yeah. Well, you've actually segued me beautifully. Another campaign that we've launched as well is the Winter Energy Payment for Students campaign. So if you may or may not know, every other community service card holder except students gets the extra money during the winter. However, students' flats are notorious for being cold and damp and worse than, say, others. Not to dismiss anyone else, but it does seem an odd line to draw in the sand. And I know previous governments have worked on that, but, Cyclone Gabriel happened and other things like that. But just it's an open goal to shoot the ball,
Oh, absolutely.
So that's another big thing. And also, just to touch on where's the work, we're not opposed. We'd love to encourage private sector to invest in our students as well, as long as it's a fair, livable wage. We'd be more than happy to advertise any roles you are doing in any sector, as long as you're giving our students a fair shot with a fair wage.
Yeah, no, I mean, that makes total sense. I mean, at this point, we do need all we can get. And I mean, I love to hear about that winter energy thing. Because, yeah, as someone who just stopped being a student, I finally get it now. I actually get to have it because this house is very much a classic moldy, you can't get enough sunlight kind of home. And so, yeah, I really hope that we can get like that. I mean, I'll be honest, I am skeptical because these guys suck, but it doesn't make sense. Like you say, it is a strange line to draw that low income earners on a benefit are somehow potentially worse off than a student, when we often know it's usually the other way around, especially given the age limits of your entitlements of that 24 age cutoff. So yeah, it's good to see that you guys are doing that. And I think, do you have any questions for Aiden before we wrap this up there, Mr. Rogers?
No, except you're just giving me like PTSD as to eating bowls of rice with nothing but a bit of soy sauce flavor. Like, I remember those days. Yeah.
It's rough out here, but thank you so much for joining us so late on a Friday night. I'm sure you probably had way more fun things to do than this, but thank you for joining us, and hopefully, if get in touch with us if you guys have anything else that you're doing, and we're more than happy to bring you back on and chat about whatever you guys have going on there, eh?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. Thank you so much for coming. See you later, Aiden. Oh man, so good.
And that was two. Banging them out.
Right? I'm just like, oh, whoa. That was like bang bang. No break in the middle. Like, whew. All right. I guess I should probably
Yeah, I did have soy sauce. Yes, I know it was luxury.
Yeah, no, I saw some people talking about their things.
Someone's parents thought that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I got so skinny as a student because I couldn't afford food. Mum asked me, and I mean that, like, we laugh, but also, my God, how grim is it that we allow? Like, again, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense when these people are trying to become, the next experts in their areas and help and add to the population and community.
And not to mention, these are the young people. These are the people we want here, voting for the future. They're much more conscious about, longevity in the decision-making process of governance. So they're much more invested in that regard. So I don't know. It's definitely a sad state of affairs, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we see some of their campaign stuff working, and hopefully I better see, when I go back and check that action station later, I better see those numbers up, peeps. All right, let's do some memes, because we just had a really long session all in one go.
Meme vent.
Exploit market dominance to drive up food prices. Post record-breaking profits while blaming global factors and supply chain issues for everything. Ask customers to round up their $27.53 bread and milk bill for charity.
Fuck, I hate that.
Yeah, same. I laugh because otherwise we cry.
I know. It makes you
Thank
feel
you,
bad. You're like,
MLB.
fuck you, but then you're also like, oh.
Also, thank you,
People
MLB.
need this
I did
money.
not notice. It's been a long, long night. This, I don't know why this meme kind of the way that they've drawn his face kind of reminded me of one of the characters from King of the Hill.
It does look like, yeah, like
Okay,
Hank Hill or
I
something.
thought so. Okay, it's not just me. It's not just me.
No,
Good
it's
to
not
know.
just you. I was getting that vibe too.
Cool. We got flat earthers when they realize that they've been breathing atmosphere and not atmosflat.
That's
I know. I like that. Oh yeah. So while retirement typically occurs after completing a career in savings and investing for it, a new trend is emerging among Gen Z career professionals called micro retirement. Micro retirements involve taking a 1 or 2 week break from work every 12 to 18 months. Vacations are now micro retirements, guys. Hard economy.
I want to micro retire.
We got cat lovers against white supremacy. You son of a bitch, I'm in. I've been seeing a few of this clown meme, but just someone actually tagging Christopher Luxon on Facebook with "Here you dropped your nose, you fucking clown." Just beautiful. I don't like Facebook for much, but you know what? As Scooby-Doo taught us one thing, it's that the real monsters are landowners and rich people. And yes, that is Scooby-Doo anime.
Well, yeah, they got Daphne's hair wrong.
Really? That's the problem you have? Okay.
That is the problem I have. Yes.
I love that for you. Oh, this is beautiful from the Yeehaw Boys. The Adventures of Hipkins, the plight for promising policy. The professor said the answer would be clear and easy to find, but I'm stumped. Capital gains tax. Also, helping out with student issues, getting them more jobs. That's also another good one.
That's signed by someone.
The Yeehaw Boys.
Who made that? Oh, okay.
The Yeehaw Boys. Yeah. Oh, this one got me. Google searches for functioning guillotine. And I bet you that's just from BHN watches.
Hell yeah.
This one got me. There is no Epstein list. If you know, you fucking know.
I know.
Now that's what I call late stage capitalism. God. Now my brain's like, which now are they up to? Do they still do? Now I'm like, do they still do
I'm
that?
pretty sure they still do it, yeah.
Oh, God, that's terrifying. Me trying to explain my political ideology to people without using scary words like communism, socialism, or decolonization. Ape strong together. When you want to leave no doubt about the type of person you are. Dukes of Fire Hazard? Looks like those piss shit boys are at it again, dipshit boys are at it again, folks.
Looks like those dipshit boys are at it again.
Yeah, that's better. 6 Lives of Animals Without Backbones. And please tell me we all thought of the same person at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Luxon.
David?
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow, you didn't even hit it on the that was a mess. Embarrassing.
I don't know. I was overthinking it maybe.
This one tickled me as a Magic the Gathering light fan. Epstein client list enchantment. This enchantment becomes unredacted when what client list is casted. When what client list is casted, exile the Epstein client list before becoming unredacted, and the player with the least amount of money in their bank account loses the game.
People were calling me a nerd.
What? What's wrong with gathering? Libertarians be like, tyranny.gov? Tyranny.com.
Ooh.
These are in America at, I think, like a Walmart or something. And obviously, Schitt's Creek merch. I would love for getting an Ooh David pillow and just putting it on like every couch inside of Parliament. Just every single couch.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Red bread redemption. I don't know why, but this just made me giggle.
There's so much writing on this one.
I know, right? I'm not reading that one out.
Yeah, I'm not reading it either.
I just liked the red.
I'll take the joke.
Red bread. Oh yeah, this isn't technically a meme. This is just actually Tina Ngata's Facebook profile photo. And you know what? Absolute queen behavior, if you ask me. Oh, all right. We've gotten to the community meme, so I think that's where we will leave it for now until we head into our last story. Although there's a couple of super chats. I should do those first. Vander Armour for $5 late fee. Thank you.
Oh shit.
Howie
Don't do it again.
$10. Yesterday, I said goodbye to a Wellington restaurant I was a regular at. I told them it's because they had an Independent Together poster. We must make the promoters uncomfortable. Speak up, tell them. I love to hear that, actually. Also, I kind of want to know where this restaurant is so I can, like, not go there myself either, just in case. Although, man, I should probably keep an eye out now that I've heard that. I should keep an eye out for those posters.
Let's start an interactive, like, Google map of places to avoid. Boycott map.
Ooh,
yeah.
Honestly though, not a bad idea. And then we got Mr. Arvids for $2. I signed. Thank you, Mr. Arvids. I'm glad that people were listening. We got to help our I'd say youth, but not all students are youth.
when the annual BHN tax rebate happens, you'll get some of that money back. Thank you.
Once we become like are we going to become a charity or something? Is that what we're doing?
No, we're just going to tax the viewers.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. So, just trying to open up all my bloody links because this next story obviously has quite a few different layers. Yeah, let's call it layers. 14 layers of bullshit, actually. That's probably more accurate.
Here we go.
So on the Discord, thankfully, an awesome Discord member tagged me in a couple of links. One was to a press release, and the other was to I'll find it. My brain just shat its pants. We'll get there. But yeah, so this is the first article that was brought to my attention. ACT Party to host white genocide conspiracy theorist as 2025 party rally keynote speaker.
Yay.
And yes, you heard that right, people. Or I guess you heard that white. So yes, this was a press release from Poneke Anti-Fascist Coalition. The ACT Party will host white genocide conspiracy theorist James Lindsay as their keynote speaker at the annual party rally. James Lindsay is described by ACT as a globally recognized advocate for free speech, open inquiry, and classical liberal values. What they failed to mention is that James Lindsay is a globally recognized racist transphobe and has pushed the conspiracy of queer people being pedophiles into mainstream discourse. Particularly, they say coining the term groomer. That's more of a one's a little bit loose.
That's a very old term.
Oh, actually, no. There is actually like there's stuff for it. Trust me, I checked it. But yes, so this obviously came.
He did write some books, so maybe it was coined in one of those.
I did see that, and I think he does a math, something to do with. He's like a mathematician. But what I was like, okay, who is this guy? Because I was like, have I heard of this person, or is it just another white dude? So I will take us. So I wanted to kind of obviously look, because obviously the wording used in the press release from Poneke Anti-Fascist Coalition is quite strong. It is quite direct. And obviously I wanted to make sure, okay, is this guy definitely kind of got some bad stuff going? And well, I went to have a Google, and honestly, it took about 0.25 seconds to kind of go, oh, there's some red flags, if ever I've seen them. So one of the first things I found was him on the platform.
Hey.
And I was not glad that I had to actually, I probably should have signed out of my account. I feel like I can't clean the germs off from having to visit their actual
page. Yeah, you're gonna get recommended platform shit now. I've had that happen before. Yeah, you're gonna regret it.
I'm doing it for the people, all right? I'm doing it for all of y'all, okay? I'm taking and sacrificing myself for the greater cause.
Yeah, you're just gonna be like, you love this shit now.
This what would you call it an episode? Was titled James Lindsay talks wokeness, net zero, and transgenderism.
I mean, an episode is sometimes like a medical event, so I feel like this might fit, you know.
Yes, so and then basically just leading up to this, old pancake batter is trying to talk about the woke and what makes them woke.
Have you heard about the woke?
This is just from the horse's mouth.
Genocide theory, but the evidence for this is thin on the ground, to put it mildly. They say that, well, actually, they said that I made fun of George Floyd on the anniversary of January 6th, and somehow that's some grand sin. I made these jokes.
I made a joke.
Hold up. They said, and some like, and then he doesn't defend like he didn't say it. He just accepts that, like he was pretty much accepting in that sentence that he said it. Well, they said that I made fun of George Floyd, but you know, it's not that bad, is it?
Well, yeah, no, and then he's trying to be like,
did.
It's not that.
On the ground, to put it mildly. They say that, well, actually, they said that I made fun of George Floyd on the anniversary of January 6th, and somehow that's some grand sin.
Somehow.
These jokes. I said that George Floyd was like the like Santa Claus for Democrats and would come and give presents to people if they were, you know, supported racial justice or whatever. And this apparently was, you know, the kind of thing that proves that I'm a racist.
God. Apparently proves that I'm a racist.
I mean, I wonder if Santa is a leftist. And he
the way he just speaks, honestly, I struggled to try and watch some of the content to learn more about him, because I felt like I was like taking actual real life psychic damage. Like there's that. There was some stuff where they start talking horrifically about, you know, the rise of transgenderism and how they're taking things back and getting men out of the bathrooms and all this just trash. And I mean, you know, if old pancake batter is a fan of this guy, probably already a red flag.
Yeah, I mean, James, if you're wondering why you didn't get any presents the last few years, you know, it's probably something to do with that or many of the other bigoted things you've said.
Mm-hmm. And so I went and I also went to the fucking ACT website. Another thing that made me feel gross and icky. And yes, I know I should have used another browser. It's been a very big, long day, and I was running things down to the line today. So we got what we got. That's fine. Yes, so this is where the actual announcement was actually made. So this announcement was actually made back in June, 18th of June. So obviously it didn't really kind of come to people's radars until recently. And yeah, here it says, ACT is proud to announce that the international keynote speaker for the party's 2025 rally on 13 July will be Dr. James Lindsay. And then what they said earlier. And I had a look because I was kind of curious how much the tickets were, because I was like, you're in Auckland, right? You could go, right? I mean, it's technically it's $50.
Oh, okay.
They put that one there and it makes you, still expensive. But my brain was just like, man, Would that be worth $50?
$50 to go there and probably be kicked out the moment I start heckling.
Yeah. Or you'll probably get a call before the night before going, sorry, it's members only now.
Members only.
We'll give you your
Fuck
$50
you.
back. You can't.
Yeah. No, I'll mark the date. I'll show up with a foo-foo phone. I'll do that. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I need to get a foo-foo phone, actually.
Yeah, I need one too. Yeah, no, I definitely need to pick one up.
I go to a lot of protests.
Yeah.
And I think did you found some stuff about old
I
Lindsay,
did.
didn't you?
Well, I sent you a link.
Yes, you want me
but
to
it
open that up now for us?
Yeah, yeah, open it up. Well, it's nothing too. I don't think we'll go too into detail about it, but it was.
Yes, sweet as.
Essentially, it might give you a bit of an idea of why actor specifically drawn to this guy. It may or may not have a relation. Who knows? It might have been an order coming from down high.
Right.
Down on high. Yeah. Like this was only about, 8 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, September 10, 2024. So
yep.
Not too
And he
long
seems to have
ago.
done multiple interviews with Atlas over the last 5 or so years. So
yeah, no, I found it interesting when you sent this to me because I saw the little thing said, the Atlas Society asks James Lindsay. I was like, wow, okay, so he's the one they want to hear from.
Yeah, they love this guy. They're pushing him.
That's high level. That's high level.
Yeah, well, I found it because I was looking at his publishers that publishes books. That's why I knew he did some books, and I just wanted to see if any of them were like the Economic Institute or something like that, just some Atlas affiliates. But nah, it didn't seem to be.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Is there anything in here that you wanted me to specifically?
I did not read this.
No, that's fair.
I think I got like two or three things in. He laughs apparently at some point. I think I saw that.
But yeah, I mean, it was not surprising to see that he's got that good old Atlas certified bigot.
Yeah, this is 2 thumbs up from Atlas.
And I mean, it's definitely concerning given he's already actually there was one part, maybe we should listen to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently he was talking about the number of places he had spoken at. Yeah, okay, we'll go to the beginning because there is probably a little bit of an interesting bit where he talks about I guess his experience coming to New Zealand and trying to do some tour where he would speak. And that's just at the beginning. Also, someone wants an atlas of 50 words or less. We should actually try to make one of those. We should do that. I'll put it on our homework list. Well, we should do an Atlas for Dummies version, I think, actually. That's probably not... Well, Atlas for people who can't be fucked with all that bullshit.
Well, that might wind up being the mind map that I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
That was the core of it, was just Atlas. I was just finding everything that was Atlas affiliated.
Make a constellation map? Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was basically a constellation map, but based on Paul's video. Yeah. I mean, there were some links I hadn't found before, so some surprising stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean collaboration, like always good. But yeah, I guess we'll listen to the beginning of this. Yeah.
And there's been a little bit of controversy around his speaking tour of New Zealand, though it has been much more talk than trouser. I think it would be fair to say the opposition to Dr. James A. Lindsay, who joins me in the studio now. James, lovely to have you with us on the platform.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
All right. Well, you've been, how many talks so far? 3, 4?
Oh my gosh, let me see. I did 2 in Auckland, 1 in Taronga, and 1 here in Wellington.
Taronga.
Last night, so we're up to 4 so far and 5 tonight.
Okay, and how many venues has that involved going through?
I don't know. There have been cancellations. I think probably at least +2 or +3 compared to the number that we actually have used.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Can I ask you, is this a common practice also in other countries and contracts in the United States?
It was in the United States about 10 years ago and maybe even 5 years ago, but it became much less common in the US. Happens once.
Which this was such a weird angle to already start taking.
What is it like? Do people go and do talks in the States? Like what?
Well, no, it's in terms of venues rejecting. That's essentially.
Oh, the venues rejecting it. Sorry, I interpreted that wrong.
He was basically just being like, how common was that in the US? Is it still common?
They had it Trump, didn't it? I'm pretty sure one of the venues. Yeah, it was a venue that he went to his original rallies that he never paid or something. So they said, "No, you're not coming back. Fuck you. You still paid us the first time."
It was just a weird kind of I guess they start going down this whole, oh well, was it like that in America? Is it still like that? As if that's some yardstick to use to I guess either invalidate or validate, a person's stance. It's most of this entire interview was really just straw man after straw man.
Yeah, this is his current tour, right? This is like a couple of days old, this interview?
No, this was 3 months ago, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah,
tour or some shit, I don't know.
He was.
I think he's been going around for 3 months.
Well, I mean, who knows? I'm sure he's probably.
I don't know.
He could be visiting other Atlas people that he knows.
That's
I'm sure they've got all their little secret meetings that they need to keep having, and while he's here, might as well. But yeah, it was just. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, it does seem like it's pretty widely known that this guy is what we would consider to be a very far right, like
you said, you did a 2-second Google search. I don't think that needs to be well known. Most venues aren't dumb. They're going to get someone to book there, and then they're going to be like, all right, well, we might do it. We'll consider it. And then they Google search and no, this guy's a fucking trouble. No, fuck that. We don't need it.
Someone points out he was also on a Q&A, and I did try to watch that one as well, but I'll be honest, the psychic damage was giving me a fucking headache. It was definitely tough to listen to when it's just absolute word vomit garbage, just your classical arguments of trans people bad, woke be bad, all of that's bad, and they don't like us.
It's a shame he's not doing it out in the middle of an open park like Posey Parker did. She made it easy. In fact, she was braver than most of these guys.
Sure.
To give her something, she went out in the middle of the open.
Yeah, but then she wasn't brave enough to come to Wellington a few days later.
I mean, I was at that protest, so
I know. I was supposed to go to the one in Wellington. Then I was like, oh, she ran away.
She did run away.
There was also an article. That was the other thing that was shared. There was an article with on a website called SPL Center. And it kind of just goes through and kind of talks a little bit about who this James Lindsay is. Obviously, he also spoke against drag queens. It's like, you guys remember George Floyd. The goal is to have drag Floyd. And the goal is to get you to give in so that they get their own way or overreact. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. His tweets that somehow make him a racist. I still can't believe that those words came out of his mouth. Yeah, you all laughed, but this showed up in the mail today. George Floyd is real. He will bring you nice presents on Jan 6 if you believe in him and fight for justice. I'm for closing the border and shutting down fentanyl snuggling, not smuggling, into the US. He also, they did actually go on about that on the platform as well, as he's really into calling things something version of Marxism. He really loves to, I guess, say it's bad because it's essentially a new version of Marxism.
Woke neo-communism is the new slavery. What a quote.
Wow, that was 2023. That wasn't even that long ago.
No.
It is the vested interests of queer Marxists to obliterate the normalization scale. Oh,
you know what?
God.
Maybe this guy's like a parody. You know, he's just playing a character. This is fucking absurd.
Wish he was playing a character. My God, like it's just because apparently he was a part of this thing where they tried to plant fake data or something into one of the projects to try and be like got you, your scientific articles disproving me.
Sure.
They don't count because blah blah blah, you know, like that again. Anti-communism crusade. The word Marxist or Marxism.
You're scrolling so fast, but I'm seeing so many like fucking just phrases that I'm just like, oh yeah, there we go. Roll my eye. I'm seeing like complaining about Me Too, still going on about that. Why I'm no longer a feminist. I think I saw that. Like so many cliches.
Or to renew America back to a constitutional republic, as opposed to something that's undergoing a communist revolution.
I agree with the first part of that. Maybe like take it away from a fascist dictatorship. It's probably a good idea. Yeah.
yeah. And that's the thing is, there's just scores and scores of. I mean, we heard the way he spoke just before. There is so much evidence showing how terrible this guy really is. He's just a right-wing grifter.
Fucking Gestapo's going around arresting people, and you're like, we're in a communist republic.
And I mean, this is pointing it out great. You clearly watched the documentary Flood the Zone. Exactly. This is flooding the zone. And I mean, the fact that the ACT Party are proud that they're having him be their keynote speaker. I mean, it's not surprising, but it's still disgusting.
So Jordan Peterson with tertiary syphilis.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. Yeah, Syphilis Peterson. That's what we'll
Syphilis
call him.
Peterson.
Syphilis Peterson. Write it down, people, because I will forget.
Memes for next week.
But yeah, I was really glad that people put that in front of us, because I'm like, if there's people in Auckland who are willing to fight the good fight and maybe go undercover for $50, like I'm just saying, like I've seen like YouTubers in America who have gone like undercover to the Republican conference. They had the big Republican conference. I can't remember the acronym now. It's just fallen out of my head. But yeah, like seeing like undercover people. Like I saw this non-binary person who went undercover at the convention for multiple days and also would be opening Grindr while inside the convention. And was getting so many fucking like ping, 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 ping. I should have queued up the grinder sound. That would have been funny. Yeah, but I do love the idea. Like maybe someone one day will start being able to do that, because it would be good to have. Yeah, there we go. Undercover Boss Political Edition. There you go. Look at us. Yes, CPAC. Yes, that's the one.
Hell
Dead
yeah.
Domain. Yes. If you guys haven't and you want to see something fun, I highly recommend going and watching Dead Domain and their undercover at CPAC, because chef's kiss. Also, they just have a lot of good content over there. Yeah, Grindr goes off during CPAC, allegedly. I guess we know what the C in CPAC stands for. Oh God. All right, should we do some memes?
Yeah.
Memes?
I mean, well, I just sent you a link with a
what did you
time
send
code
me?
if you wanted to jump in something just still slightly relevant.
All
if
right.
you wanted to go stroll down memory lane.
All right, let's take a quick techie tour. What time do I finish it at?
You'll know.
Okay. That's ominous. All right, guys, I guess we'll know. Like, let's see what Rogers is taking us down. Oh no, I already hate it, guys. I'm sorry. Warning. Cringe ahead. All right, let's go.
It's not enough, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, but what did they tell you? Because when I read it, it was 23,000 submissions, wasn't it? How many supported it?
That's irrelevant.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you why.
Well, let's have the answer first. And the answer is 0.33%.
But here's the problem here.
0.33%.
Here's the problem. You're doing this show, and I hope you get some views on this one, because you want to try and raise the standards of debate in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's all he's doing.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Just wants views.
I also just love that. Oh, I love how he just reminds me of every incel dude I ever knew growing up.
He's immediately on the defense just as soon as it's
because he knows he should be.
Yeah.
Because he knows he doesn't actually have a leg to stand on, especially by his if he goes by his own marking rubric. He's already failing. It's always a rule for thee, but not for me.
Okay. Sorry. 1913. Go to about there. It's a bit forward slightly.
1913. All right. Let's
go.
Yeah.
So we're all probably remember him saying this infamous quote about a month ago on Guy and Essner.
Just take. I think I went a bit too. Yeah, there we go.
Debate in New Zealand. Now you're smart enough to know that those 23,000.
Oh, you mean start at 19?
Yeah.
19?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Well, I think we are doing that.
Okay. So why did you bring up a percentage that is meaningless, that reflects nothing more than somebody managed to run a smart campaign with a bot? Why did you bring that up?
Well, how do you know that?
Because we've looked at them, because we know what the contents of them is.
So is it not
lock that in quote?
I was about to say, now I know where we're going.
Because we know what the content of them is, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's speaking there as a minister of parliament. He's speaking as analyzing the submissions that were about the regulatory state. This is like the initial submissions that were done, not the official submissions, I believe, when they were sort of probing the waters. So I did a quick what is it called? Official information request. Because I just want using that exact quote, just wanting any information that they would have in regards to that, and that included not just any assessments, but any correspondence within the government pertaining to bots making submissions, any of them. And so I got this reply in quote.
Do you want to give me it so I can also put it up on the screen for people as you read it out?
If you want, yeah.
Or you can share. If you can share, I don't know if you can share your screen.
I'll just send you a screenshot. It's probably easier.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'm a person who likes words on screens when people are talking, so my brain understand.
Well, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry.
All right. That is pretty cut and dry, but hey.
I didn't give them all my honorifics, but as you can see in a second,
once I press the button,
once you get it on the screen,
yeah, there we go.
This office holds none of the information you requested. I am therefore refusing your request under Section 18E of the OIA because the information you've requested does not exist. So yeah, and I asked just in case, just for any additional comment he might have, and they said, thank you for your email. We referred to our response of 30th of July as we have no additional information to provide to you. And I meant that in just a ministerial best, do you want to clarify this statement? Because they're kind of in contradiction of each other. You're literally in an interview saying, we've got the data, we've got the information, and here you are saying in an official information response, we don't have that information. So
is this basically his Epstein list?
Pretty much. Well, no, because the Epstein list
but we don't have the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
We know this doesn't exist.
But yes. And yes, there was an OIA that was done. Because do you want to actually send an image of the specific
Yeah,
OIA
I
request?
can send the exact
Just
OIA
'cause-
request if people want to know the exact wording.
Yeah. Because I know essentially it was you were specifically requesting information based off of that interview question.
Yeah. Like I could use that exact quote. Yeah, because the quantum reflects a weird phrase there. Reflects nothing more than the fact that it got easier and easier for people to really make, frankly, fake submissions. They've got bots; they can make submissions. They're doing it right now on regulatory standards.
Mm.
And as you can see, there's the 1 to 4 of, I made sure I was thorough in the request.
Oh yeah, no loopholes would have been able to be really trying to plug as many of them as possible.
So unless maybe he's only got like internal ACT party stuff pertaining to this, maybe like I think that's probably his only out. But even then, I don't know. Maybe that would come under an official information request. I'm not sure. Yeah. So if I wanted, I could contest this to the ombudsman, but it's probably not worth the time, honestly, and probably just a waste of resources.
I mean, I feel like the ombudsman must have a lot of fucking work to do at the moment because
probably.
Yeah.
Yes, he made it up. I mean, in short, he made it up. Like it's clear as day.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's why he's going to try to invalidate, using any means necessary, because there's no possible way that all of a sudden New Zealanders actually wanted to come out and participate in democracy. There's no way people would have been motivated enough. Joke's on you, bitch.
I forget the user who actually suggested I did that, but thank you to whoever that was. I don't remember. I don't think they're in the chat tonight.
Yeah, well, actually, speaking of chat, we better get some of these super chats.
Yeah.
We got Mr. Arvid for $10. Fufu Phone Fund. Ooh, say that 10 times fast. Fufu Phone Fund. That's a tongue twister. We've got Kaimatara for $5. Dear white supremacists, if you're so genetically superior, why do you stop being white after a little time in the sun? We don't turn white in the dark. Oh my god, that's so funny. Well, that's why that it was just like when I think about the way that like colonization spread out of those horrible, cold, inhospitable areas. I'm like, oh, so they're just jealous that the brown people got the nice warm spots. We got Kiwi Bird for $2. Posey's prize for her bravery was tomato juice. Facts. Kaimatara for $2. Sunburners give their land back in skin form. Actually, I'll add to this too. If you suffer from hay fever, that's just probably because you're not from here. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Oh. I don't know if I like that one. I don't want to say that, but David syphilis more. Oh, $2. Thank you, Kai Matata, I think. Mr. Arvids again for $2. Raise D's Seymour. I mean, and Kiwi Bird for $2. Like if you're a submission bot. Beep boop. Beep boop. All right, let's get some memes back. It's been a pretty big night. You got Salmonella Dub versus Salmonella Lunch.
Ooh.
Nationals Healthcare Plan 2026. We doubled the budget, so now you get 2 sticking plasters.
Oh, thank you.
You ever look at stuff and wonder how it got there? I mean, although, I've looked into some of it, and I'm pretty sure it was John Key. John Key got on there.
I don't know. I can see 3 of these pictures. I can see like plausible scenarios. Of
same.
Like it went down, but
yeah. I mean, it's clearly a whomping willow tree in the top left, obviously.
But I can imagine like what led up to that instance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so we had people making some comparisons. We had the Shane Jones and the brain broken movie name.
Space Jam.
Yes, there we go. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Huh.
it was Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I know. My brain just—it's been a long day. I've been collecting this news stuff since like 12. And then someone made a comparison to Animal Farm on the yeah, which
He's a
I
bit of
never
a,
bothered reading in high school.
oh god, it was Napoleon or Snowball? I can't remember who the
Napoleon.
evil one was. Napoleon was the evil one.
Pretty sure he was.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't read the book. Nah,
Well,
pretty sure that's what
I
someone
know.
said in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Also, so last week, during the shows, Rajan put this up and Pat didn't get it. He didn't get the joke, and it annoyed me. And so I had to make sure that this was included because I see you, Rajan, and like it was a good joke. It's not your fault. Pat didn't understand it. I got it. I saw you. So.
Yeah, exactly. Snowball equals Trotsky, the well-known good guy in the communist revolution, Trotsky.
I love this. Fucking cooker or just cooked. So good.
Why not both?
You Green supporters are too radical and unrealistic. You Labour supporters are ineffective and sold out all your values. Jacinda Ardern was the worst Prime Minister New Zealand has ever had. National is the best party. Let's get him, punk. Mm-hmm. And so we had, Kai Matata started posting some fun little variations of old propaganda gower.
Oh, I didn't even realize it's encrypted there.
Yeah,
I just thought it was a screenshot of Paddy Gower.
No, yeah, it's that well done. And then you got suck up, grifter, boot, and this was when I believe James added into it. So yeah, journalists speak truth to power. Paddy sucks up to it. The fucking bootlicker.
Petty Goose.
Oh my god, I did it again. I forgot to put Kai Matata's little thing in there. We all knew it probably was going to be Kai Matata, but I love this because it took me back. Not gonna lie. But I also love the Unite Against Coalition 23. Because, be kind, check in on the elderly or vulnerable, resist the next first, eat the rich. Also, I like, maybe we should make that a real website. Oh, it wouldn't be a .gov, but we can make that, surely.
Yeah, probably.
And I had to create a whole brand new, so preface, I had to create a whole new category in the meme PDF, guys. And yes, all these memes are in our Discord. So if you want to head over to our Discord, I'll put the image up soon so that you guys can either scan the QR code, go to my Blue Sky, or I think we should be able to get Avery to maybe check one in the chat as well. But yes, so warning, the next one is a new category in the meme PDF. It is the Shadow Realm. Because Rajan decided to make something that we have decided is blurst. Both blessed and cursed. Yeah, and
I don't know how to feel, but I'm happy.
Clearly haven't been checking in on the Discord because
no,
this is what you're
I've
missing
been too
out on.
busy.
Nah,
Way
that's so
too
fair.
busy.
That's so fair. And this is why I had to create an entire new section. I also hope that Rajan appreciates the font that I chose because you know why I chose that. Just saying.
Yeah, you made me do like the Poggers face unintentionally.
Oh, see, that's going to be the highest honor for Rajan. And now we got our bonus memes. Although, actually, I've got to do one last quick positive story before we go into our memes. It's not too much of a big one because
Big hairy kiss.
Oh, I don't like that.
No.
Question is, where is it? That's what I want to know. But yeah, so there wasn't a lot in terms. I'll be honest, I did not get a lot of time to look for good news, because I was so busy with
Sorry, that one was like a fine wine. It was getting better the more I looked at it.
Yeah, it's very Zoomer coded too. So I'm like, hopefully older people don't find it too lame. But so the last little small story we can technically end on that's positive. Is actually
Oh wait,
just
can we do a negative story first?
we've done heaps of negative stories.
Well, it's not that bad. I just thought it was topical because we're last week we're getting all this rain and disaster and shit. Now we're getting it
Okay,
again. So
we can
I
quickly
send it to you in the
mention.
chat. It's
Quickly
just very
mention
quick.
it. Yeah.
I
No, I
just
actually had
noticed it,
that
and I
link
think
there.
it
Oh, no,
went
wait,
under
that's
the
a different one.
radar this week. Yeah, I think it went
Oh.
under the radar this week, but I saw this mentioned.
Holy
there's
fuck!
not much.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just read it. Guys, okay. Turns out we're not doing that right now. We're going to take a real quick side swipe because what the fuck did you just send me? Tai Ho, it's Fano. Okay, where is my link gone? There we are. Okay. See, I'm pre-prepared for this one, guys, because we'll get the good stuff after. You want to read that, Rogers?
Yeah, government wants unemployed people to help with flood cleanup. Got to earn your pay, guys. No more free rides.
So, what? The government plans to bring in job seekers to help with the response to the recent flooding in Tasman and Marlborough. Social Development Minister Louise Upson has announced the activation of an enhanced
task force green.
Oh
Very
my
dramatic.
god, that sounds like an off-brand cartoon.
It kind of does, yeah.
Yeah. Allows the use of funding for training, supplying, transporting, and paying people. Okay, Question is though, how much are they going to pay them?
Well, and it doesn't really go into any detail. Like, is it voluntary, or is this something they're going to be like pressuring people in? Like, hey, you were fucking sitting around, you haven't got a job, you need to go fucking clean up, you know?
Well, yeah, because they can often they within WINS, they obviously have that clause of like you are not allowed to turn down an opportunity of work. Otherwise, that's even if that job is literally going to be something that you might not physically be that good at being able to do, like it doesn't matter if it's a job, they'll be like, we don't care if it's relevant.
And can they pay them less than minimum wage because they're already on job seeker? I don't know. Maybe there's a loophole there. I have no clue. But
I mean, even if they did pay them like a thing rate, obviously when you're on working income, you can only earn I think it's approximately like $120.
Yeah.
Before you start
you
getting
declare
taxed.
and it becomes deducted and
Massively on the dollar. So yeah, like that's another thing that sometimes, depending on the type of work, that can really fuck people because they end up getting a job, but it's with all the extra costs of having to be employed ends up making them worse off a lot of the time. And like that's I just also someone said, didn't they do something similar during the Depression? Well, I mean, recession, depression, like they kind of rhyme, right?
I mean, I was thinking, like, when I was looking at this, I was like, well, I guess desperate times call for desperate measures, but there's a lot we still haven't tried before we should be trying this. Like, how about tax the rich more? That's an option.
Right? I'm sure that they could easily fund, like, clean up and repair stuff so that people can actually, I don't know, keep being the slave labor under them. Like... Yeah, that's okay. Well, I guess we'll have to keep an eye on this because, like, I'm hoping, like, we should definitely keep an eye and see if there's more information that comes out about this because that's kind of fucked. So we get Space Force and Green Force. Okay, cool. Good to know. Those are the priorities this government has. I'm sure you've seen that, right? Oh, Judy's given us a fucking
Space Force,
Space
Force, Task Force Green. We're getting all this epic shit, guys. Golden Dome. Who knows?
Which just reminded me, there was a comment that I was asked to share because it was funny from last week's. Hey, I take requests, if it wasn't for all of the awesome random things people send us, although there it is.
Do you get a hat?
Just send the mower to space with Judith colons. That's it. That's the comment. And it's great. I love it.
I agree. Campaign slogan.
All right. Well, we've got 15 minutes left. Did you see fucking Pat and them went 2 hours 8 last night?
No, I didn't.
They keep trying to up us. I'm like, stop making it a fucking competition, man, because I can't resist. So this is actually kind of the good news story that we have is kind of just an end to one that we actually had before, because I know that y'all would probably remember about Jack Karetai Barrett that we talked about with his awesome kaupapa to support Māori wards. And yes, so he arrived in Wellington, and I'm so gutted because I completely did that thing where you forget what the date is and then you go, oh yeah, there was something happening.
What, like every day?
Yeah. And so just a good to see that he got here, and he's because I mean he covered more than 894 kilometers on a bike, like
on a
what
Focus
an
Atlas.
absolute lad. Yeah, nah. See, I try not to mention the name. It feels like it's a promo. I'm assuming
it's everywhere,
right? But yeah, I saw even Chippy went to go meet him. And yeah, it was just awesome to see him get here, finish his kaupapa, and just see everyone coming to, he had quite a few people coming to greet him. He obviously got to meet Tory and yeah, because she's actually why I realized, because she posted it on her Instagram. Like, honestly, Tory's where I get a lot of my news updates, like faster than other places, because she's on, man.
Yeah, that's reliable news, I'd say.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should probably go into our last memes before we bugger off for the night. Also, the Southern Moonlight put this earlier. More talk than trouser. What does that even mean?
I don't know. That's why I just said it's a fucking dad term I've ever heard one.
It's one of those dumb jokes. It's like, trousers are long, so more talk than long. Like, it's dumb. That's where it's from. I'm just double checking we haven't missed any. Oh, okay. Yep. No, we do. I did miss some. We'll do the super chats, then the memes. So Kaimatara for $2. For socialists, it's not a meme. It's us comrades. Ayo. I love it. Wait, you can do a hammer sickle? Nice. I have to figure out how to do that. Right? Can you tell us in Discord how you did that? I need the little code. Mr. Arvids for $2. Another batshit story, possibly stopping buyouts. Now I'm confused. Rajan for $2. Maybe we make billionaires clean up flooded areas. Yeah, just make them physically do it. They can do it.
Yeah, well, because if you force them to do it, they'll be like, well, I don't want to do it, so I'm going to get like a robot or something.
Tina Ranson for $10. Climate events are going to become very common. We need a task force to be able to respond rapidly. Let's fund it. I agree. We definitely do need like these kind of these things to be there, same way we've got civil defense. However, I think the focus on like it being the unemployeds, that unemployed people are going to be the sole answer. That's where I fall short on that. I definitely think
green, baby.
Well, and if anything, I think that maybe we should be investing more money in actual like climate, not only climate initiative, but climate adaptation. But I mean, this government wouldn't fucking know that shit if it smacked them in the face, would they? All right, let's go into our last memes. You guys saw this one before. So for a bit of backstory, we had some moon chat in the Discord. For those of you who don't know, it's a full moon today. But yes, we had a big conversation because someone said their mum had mentioned that on a full moon, she swore the old people would lose their minds. And that is true. Things do like the one thing that I had to remind people is that, right? If the moon can affect the tides, which are water, and we are made up of a lot of water, like it's literally right there. It's very obvious. And then the meme is the moon can't control you if you're dehydrated all the time, which is
something like 80%
water
or some shit.
Yeah,
very
70
high.
to something. Yeah, it's a high amount. But also someone else in the chat pointed out, like, why do you think most indigenous populations and old populations use the moon as their calendar. Like, people have been doing this for a very long time. Working on my most anticipated piece for a Warhammer army, a forklift certified space marine. And I don't know why, this just made me laugh so much. It's so stupid. Yeah, sperm. Yeah. My generation dropping off grandchildren at their grandparents' house. Accurate. And back in my day, they actually mixed the McFlurry. Now it's just an overpriced sundae with candy on top. Facts. Because what you should do is you get, instead of buying a McFlurry, you just buy the well, to be fair, don't buy stuff from McDonald's. Boycott them. Fuck them. But if you're going to, don't get a McFlurry. Get the large size, the extra large size sundae, and then you just add like 50 cent, well, probably a bit more now, toppings onto it. So much better.
Hell yeah.
When the meme is so overused that you end up evolving. And that is where we will leave it for the memes tonight. Also, no, Ems has just been away getting married. So she will be back with us next Friday, and Rogers will be kicked back out of the seat. But
yeah, they're already sick of me.
Monday, the detective and I shall be doing our own mahi, where we're going to be live on Monday night, 6 till 8 p.m. as a bit of a pre-show for BHN. So that was kind of, it made it work really good with the fact that we were going to be able to do BHN while Ems is away and then transition away from a Saturday, because I saw someone ask about potentially having weekend shows, and you're going to have to pay me a bit to give you all my bloody weekends. So for now, we'll give you the Monday. And yes, it's this Monday. So on Aotearoa tonight.
We are also planning other releases, not necessarily live shows that who knows might come out on the Sunday, Saturday. I don't know. We're
going to be recording.
I'm recording this weekend.
Yeah, we're recording this weekend. And so when it comes to our channel is very different to BHN. We're going to kind of be doing a mix of live and standalone content that we're just going to pre-record and kind of have up for people to watch without any kind of chat function, because there's a lot more deep dive stuff that we would love to go into, but that we might need to make, multi-part series essentially, and kind of just add to the already, growing leftist kind of media and just content creators out there at the moment. So yeah, that'll be us. And so hopefully if you want to come see us at Aotearoa tonight, we're on YouTube, we're on Blue Sky, and Twitch, and Facebook, and Instagram. Although I'm mostly just being Blue Sky. We technically have it, I just not use them much.
Okay.
We also have a Discord where we play Wordle every single day. We currently have like a 10-day Wordle streak. So feel free to come hang out if you like. But yeah, is
a little tease for that video that's coming out. It's going to be on extinct New Zealand animals. I'll say no more than that.
Extinct New Zealand animals, huh? All right. Now, I'm just realizing, I hope the credits don't do the weird thing they did to me last time. So I'm going to press it and we'll see what happens. No, it did the fucking thing to me again. It fucking did that thing to me. I don't know how to do it without doing that. Let's try press this button. Oh, is that gonna work? Nah, I don't think that's gonna work. You know what? Instead of doing the normal, we'll turn the music down, we're just gonna say thank you for joining us on your Friday night. Hope you've enjoyed what we've had to talk about today and enjoyed the guests that we had on today. I'm so glad. It was awesome to have two guests on, one after the other. Absolutely appreciate them for taking their time to come and hang out with us. Also, apparently, run it with sound and sing the theme, you reckon? Oh, I don't know about that one. But yeah, I think that's it for now. Obviously, if you want to see us again soon, we'll be on Aotearoa tonight on Monday. Otherwise, I shall see you back here next Friday with Ems, officially married Ems.
Mrs. Ems.
Otherwise, you will see Pat and Chewie back at the normal time of Monday. And also, don't forget, we've got the Big Hairy Network. So it's more than just the boys to watch now. So with that, has you got anything else you'd like to say, Rogers, before we
just big hairy news just got a whole lot bigger.
Oh, yeah, it did. That was good. Nice. All right, whānau, well, keep cool to after school, and we love yous.
Help us settle a debate, whether it be thoughtful or funny, even if we're all creatures of hate. It's a fine line that we're walking together. For better, push aside the temptation to berate. Let's take a note of the corners we stand in. As many points as the hairs on my chinny chin chin. When the news that we're watching is hairy, knowing all the things that we need to be wary of. Like the rich have the hand out for rewards, while the many have to work at what they can afford. And the rest of us ain't paying attention, or maybe have questions we're too worried to mention. Other media is still dwelling on trivial facts, vetting peas from the rice and the mice from the rats, and picking and choosing a war puff to run, and linking ourselves with the hill to die on. It's gotta come down to a welcoming vibe, with an A and a self and a higher in mind. All heavily, neither this way or that, and we'll be analyzed by what Chewie and Pat. With the evil in the world trying to mess with your head, and you're sitting on the couch, you're thinking chivalry's dead. Each night, 2 nights, they're gonna sing you to bed. It's Big Hairy News. Big Hairy News. Big Hairy News.
Aroha nui.